Well, there you have it. This is a pretty cool guitar, right? So I bought this guitar on eBay, and I always wanted an acrylic guitar. But if you're going to have an acrylic guitar, why not make it something cool like an Ibanez JEM style? Now, little did I know that this guitar would be so awesome. I was not expecting that. As a matter of fact, I put it off for a few years of getting one of these guitars because, well, I was so worried about it being a pile of shit. But it's not. It's an amazing guitar. And I'm not sure if they're all like this, but this one is. I'll leave a link to the seller below. I'm not sure if they even have them anymore, but I'll leave them there just in case. You're welcome to contact them, whatever. Bought it on eBay, and it was less than $400. I did make an offer on it to get it that low, but outstanding. The quality of this guitar, the acrylic itself is outstanding. Now, I was scared. I could have got one with a wooden neck, but I said, if I'm going to go bling, let's go full tilt boogie bling. And I got one with an acrylic neck. Now, this does have a dual truss rod system in it, too. So there's 2 truss rods in this guitar, which make it very cool also. And I think that is probably what keeps this neck in such perfect alignment. And it came really well set up. The action was a little high. Luckily, I didn't have to adjust the neck because I am afraid to adjust a neck on an acrylic guitar because I don't know the nature of this beast. If it's anything like acrylic drums that I have worked with, I know that they can be very fragile and crack very easily. So I imagine this kind of would be the same. So I really don't want to adjust that. And I've been hanging this guitar on the wall when not in use to keep everything kind of where it should be. Now, I did adjust the action by lowering the bridge perfectly flush into the body, and it's perfectly flush, and it sits nice. It works well. When I bought this guitar, I planned on a lot of upgrades to this guitar simply because I didn't think anything would be that great on it, and I couldn't be more wrong because everything on this guitar works outstanding. It sounds outstanding. It's very articulate, as you heard. Now, I was running through a Reaper. It's just I was running through a Roots amp sim, and I put a little delay and reverb on it. But it's really great. It's a great sounding guitar, even clean. Great playing guitar. I believe these are stainless steel frets. The fret job on this is impeccable. Best one ever to come through here. I've said that before, but sometimes we get things that top it. Now, why do I say it's the best? Well, the best to me means that there's no question about how amazing the frets are. As a matter of fact, these are the smoothest frets, smoothest ever. To the fact where you don't feel them or notice them, and that's what it's about. You could take a nylon, you could run it down either side, even up high, and there's zero there. There's nothing there to catch on, snag, feel. I assure you that if I ran a girl's nylon stocking down this fretboard, nothing would snag, and you guys know how difficult that is. You're more apt to snag on the edge of the fretboard on the ends than you are a fret. So keep that in mind. The tremolo system in this, it is an unbranded tremolo. Now, in the description when I bought this guitar, it was labeled Ibanez. This is definitely not labeled Ibanez, but it holds tune remarkably well. As a matter of fact, I just put a legit Floyd Rose in my Nuno N4 replica build that I did back here, and this is actually holding better than the Floyd Rose. So is it a nature of the acrylic versus the wood and how it screws in and how everything sits and must be, fit totally perfect? Because that's the thing with an acrylic guitar. If something's off, you're really going to notice it. So the price of this guitar kind of blows my mind at the sub $400 range because everything you look at has to be precise and perfect, because if it's not, you're going to notice it. Any blemishes or flaws, you will notice it. It is clear all the way through, as you can see, and it does light up. This is the only color that it is, but if you can get in close here, and I'll try to leave some pictures, the Vinyl Life inlay is simply outstanding in the fretboard also. So are there any downsides to an acrylic guitar? Well, yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want to be banging it. You don't want to be hitting the headstock. You don't want to be chipping it. You want to be very, very careful with it because, well, it's acrylic. It's a silicate. It's almost like a glass, and you want to be careful with it. The tuners are doing their job. They feel good. They're unbranded. They're still got stickers on the back, but they're doing their job. It has a slight rake to the headstock. The locking nut is doing its job. It does have a string tree, and everything is drilled perfectly straight and right on this. It's got the gold screws in it, and as you can see, there's our tremor system, and everything is perfect. Which is nice, is you can adjust your springs right through these little holes right here. You don't have to take the plate off, so you don't have to worry about scratching anything. Here's our battery box. The screws are right through the neck. It must be, and it's a perfect fit because obviously there was no shims in there, because if there was, you would see them. So outstanding, like I said, dual truss rods. I think this is a great guitar for the money, if not just a conversation piece to hang on the wall. At that price, even if it didn't function great, it's a cool conversation piece, a cool decoration, but this goes beyond decoration. You could gig this guitar. You could go out with this guitar and play and sound amazing. Now, you'd have to be very careful. Is it something that you'd want to gig with all the time? I don't know. I mean, what's the longevity? How durable is it? And how fragile is it? That I can't answer that question because I don't know. All I can tell you, since I've had it, which has been a little over a few weeks, 3 weeks maybe, I've played it a lot. I've enjoyed it. But I played it a lot in the beginning, and then I decided to do what I always do with a guitar, and that's hang it on the wall and come back and find out if the guitar is still in tune. So when you just saw me playing with that intro right there, basically I just threw out, okay, let's throw on a beat. Let's play something really quick. We'll make it up as we go and see if the guitar's in tune. And the guitar's remarkably in tune. It sounded really, really good, which I didn't, that surprised me. Oh, the strings on this guitar, usually I change strings right off the bat, as a lot of us do. There's no need to it. These are obviously a 9-42. They function very, very well. They feel like a slinky. I have found no need to change these strings, and they're very articulate. Pickups, very hot. Very, very hot. I can get in front of my amplifier without getting any crazy feedback or anything, but these are an extremely hot pickup. They sound good, and they sound good in all 5 positions, which we'll demonstrate in another video in the future. But I wanted to give you the once over, or the twice over, we should say, on this guitar and update you a little bit on how it sounds. And yeah, I'm really satisfied. I don't want to say for the money, for any money, I'm very satisfied with this guitar, because you couldn't touch a guitar like this with an Ibanez brand on it for, be in the thousands. So keep that in mind. A lot of work must go into making these guitars and getting them right. And how about those frets? An amazing fret job on an acrylic guitar can't be easy. So for all the work we see going into a wooden guitar, where wood is forgiving, it can be sanded, what have you, it seems like twice the work would have to go into one of these guitars to get it right. Hell, even the routing itself is it's outstanding. And you'll notice that a lot of this routing, like inside the grip here, it's not glossy. It's almost frosted. A really good looking frosted look inside the handle here, which is cool. And I think that will cut down on a lot of fingerprints showing through if you use the handle. Keeping it clean is a breeze. I simply wipe it with a microfiber rag and it comes clean. The neck it's a thick neck, and it has to be because it's an acrylic guitar. Now, how thick is it? Overly thick? Well, I mean, it's your old school Gibson thick neck, your old school Fender C shape, not a modern C, but a regular C. But it's comfortable, very comfortable. And it's just as fast, even though it is an acrylic guitar, it's just as fast as any clear-coated guitar neck. No, it's not super fast like an unfinished neck, but it's plenty fast enough, and it is a cool guitar. And how great would this look on stage, right? I mean, you're going to get the questions on this one for sure. I wish it did change colors. However, this one does not. It's got a box switch in it. The wiring's fantastic. Everything works. No complaints with this guitar. So any feedback or sounds that you were getting, well, basically that's from me using a crappy cable, because I used the cable that came with it. Because if we're going to demo a guitar, we're going to demo with what it come with. So that was using the factory cable and plugging directly into my DAW and running through Roots amp sim. So that's what it was. And that amp sim is not very forgiving when it comes to noise on any guitar. This is an old house we live in, and it doesn't have the best electrical either. So pretty impressive compared to a lot of guitars that I have. Now, if you like knockoff guitars, you like replica guitars, you like all guitars in general, you like guitars that can be on the budget side but still be awesome, this is the channel for you. We're going to bring you a lot of that stuff. And if you're a manufacturer out there and you have what you think is the coolest budget guitar, look me up, give me a shout. Be happy to take a look at it and pass it on to the viewers. And as always, remember, it's rock and roll that makes the world do that twirly thing. Please hit that like button, share, subscribe. Peace out. I love you all. Thanks, guys.